Who wants to go next? We give it down the line? All right, give it up for Doug.
Thank you all so much for coming, and especially those of you who don't know us and just love poetry and are interested in trying new things. We're really glad to see you here. And especially in these times, I think we need community and to come together around things that we feel in common. And I'm really grateful to Snezana and to Robin for putting out my forthcoming book, Once Upon a Riot. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. It is a book that is about both the necessity of resisting various forms of oppression, including fascism and economic exploitation, which I think this is the perfect time for it to have come out. So I'm really thankful that this is the moment that it's coming out. And it's also about the beauties and challenges of raising a child in our political moment. I have a 6-year-old, and she has, I would definitely encourage you, if you have children in your life, to expose them to things without pressing them upon them. And I've just seen her flower. She's really developed already intellectually and emotionally, has become so kind and caring about others, does not like Trump. And I took her to this library actually, and she chose by herself a book about Abraham Lincoln, a book about Frederick Douglass, and a book about the Chinese massacre. So I'm just really impressed with children and how much they can grow if we give them the right environment to do so. So this book is for her and for all of us. Oh, also I should say, I was debating dressing up for Snezana's book release or wearing my Note Disarm t-shirt, and I didn't wear the t-shirt, so I wrote it on my arm in a tattoo here in my child's tattoo markers. So that's my concession there. L&D. They came to me with a tube, a way to get inside of me and watch. They were always wanting to see. Each baby an experiment. Each mother a thump and whir and whack. Sure, there was something to try and save inside of something else to try and save. But there was also a technology of bodies. A mechanic can only be a mechanic if there are mechanics to work out. Prelude to each consent, to be imagined as a refrain. Repeated attempts to convince, repeated stern faces. A trail of bloody water starting at the bed. A message without content, read differently by each party. Converging and diverging points of interest while an ocean continued to ocean itself. We were here to figure something. September 8th, 2018. The photo looks like Vermeer, everything muted colors except your perfect body, being lifted up toward the light, a thin red cord stretching below. Home, shelter, view. 2 lit windows across the way and a scream from a child below. Doorbells ringing in my apartment and the apartments all around me. A masked neighbor touches our shared doorknob on the gate to the lot. I say, you go first, just let it slam, that way I don't breathe on you. 2 blocks away, the lake has taken what it wants. Water covers the beaches and sidewalk all the way up to the painted benches. My toddler tries to run into the lake where it overtakes the path and the prairie grass. People in masks take photos and videos to show it really did erode overnight. We all gawk 6 feet apart while my daughter shovels sand where there should be concrete. When I get home, more emails saying workers need ER visits covered, and my daughter draws me an endless spiral. Meanwhile, all the normal emergencies continue to accrue as people eat too much sugar, continue to drink to the point of blackouts. Today, my mother called to say, someone shot off my brother's ear. When I win, I start again. With my one wild and precious, I'm compelled to press start over and over. Why must I dive into the cleft, sit with my sneak part, come up with a mouthful of, I did it wrong, consult the cards looking for Empress in the new year, or at least the Fool at the start of the month? Why can I not find the place where the root snakes forward? See the strategy of the maps I spread across the office, the way I decorate a couch or raise my daughter to jump on a trampoline, how the earth shakes when I pronounce ne passeront to mean the fascists will die in the mountain pass, and when spring comes, it comes with new songs. Touch the underside of just about any valley so that it moans with today. and it's not merely a sight. All that history is how you arrived here. Nashville's courthouse is burning. Come on in.
Yeah, go sit, y'all. Sit in the front row.
And we have party bags for you, so you're leaving with things too, beyond just the poems ringing in your ears. Nashville's courthouse is burning. I turn on the TV to learn more about the poetry of the headline. The news labels all uprisings as riots instead of need. There is no way to step up and say, I demand to be free. Mayors allow police to kill freely, and the president tells senators who are black to go home. I want to write in your baby book that everything Baldwin wrote was in between fires. A pause to breathe hope and fear into chests. Bellows for particular ends.
Woo!
Men who eat ring forks are the same as men who eat my actions with their dead-eyed stares and flippant rolling mouths at the edges of the universe, where the centuries unroll into and out of my womb, with only lip service about my skills at flattening a plan written across a map on the top of the table, filled with pins and the drippings of mustaches that have to be swept aside to make way for the world that is unrolling into and out of the symbols that shift, even though they were once hard data connected by synopses and theories about how to win against kings and their kingmakers, who are daily inventing new methods to tally, grind, wax, and wane, even if only on the head of a pin where angels dance without sense, or vision simply to entertain those who would place a heavy creased thumb on their crown. Move forward here. There are those people who put like Post-it notes in the book and it always looks so cool when moved through really quickly. I'm not one of those. Groceries, beer, liquor, lottery. My kid studies geography, but not boring geography, hot geography. The kind where they figure the ratio of Jesus to horses. There's always a ratio. Jesus to horses, high schools to speedways, liquor to lottery. All landscape makes me sad. There are always people picnicking near the pond at the end of the park, and all I can think is it's too far to walk just to sit on a blanket. The people reading in chairs tire me too. How do they manage to be so relaxed? Does it require a lifetime of practice? While the whiteness of vans in the sun echoes through the parking lot. Those lines in the lawn become wavy near the lot, as if to make a point. And yet patterns are neither just plans nor just accidents. For instance, my teenage brother stole and stole and stole until every TV was a replacement for the one just used to buy smokes. Insurgent. It didn't matter that we couldn't afford all the electric bills that made light. I did my homework romantically. I did my dodgy life by candlelight. A child who didn't know not to play with her grandpa's war-given glass eyes. A practitioner of the retrograde arts, the unimagined girl in the backdrop. I watched men and waiters fishing in weeds, magically pulling fish from the grass. I rode in a car with a red body and an orange hood salvaged from junk. I learned all the things that shouldn't go. I was the girl doing kerosene math. And this one I can kind of dedicate to Brenda because it's about the Wisconsin uprising, which we were lucky enough to be present for, which was a life-transforming experience. And just one of the most beautiful things I've ever been a part of. It's kind of like religion and sex rolled into one. All those bodies touching, saying the same things, pulsing, moving with the same need. Bodies, useful and celebratory. I surprised myself by giving orders, and my friends squeezed across the floor, bodies recruiting bodies, a warm sweating everywhere, until there were bodies mapped with sandwich and water routes, and we had to sustain the cities of changing bodies because this wasn't formal, because the exits and elevators kept multiplying. But we were going to break this Wisconsin budget through a quorum of kindergarten teachers, and soon this would be set to arcade fire, A video of my friends at the doors, laughing and leading their groups. But first, the thousands had birthed us. None of us could claim it. Least of all, the critics roaming freely outside, while we made ourselves sick with our cities. The work it takes to keep politicians inside, to keep moving bodies risky and focused. And I do have a poem I wrote to Snezana, and I didn't think to include it because it's not in this book. Maybe I'll mix that, yeah. Eventually we will all be doing what we want to be doing. Magazines and horoscopes say so. I fear my body, the way it's crisscrossed with maps and struggles with location. Men in khaki shorts and Cubs hats surround us in the otherwise free zone known as Damon Avenue. Soon I won't be able to afford a car because it's always getting towed. Invisible electric fences follow us wherever we go, our bodies constituting foreign trade zones. There's a skate park under the overpass. I know some kids who love freedom. We ask for water in tall glasses. The water is free and the tallness seems a luxury. I am always just exiting Regal Cinemas, wishing I could go back to the show. Almost done here. There's a poem in here somewhere, if I can find it. Only in chaos are we conceivable. 1. I miss sadness, the cloud forest, the chemical library of my own nostalgia, the drums of Kalanda moving closer in my dreams. 2. The weight of something that was you, confusing me about my own animalness, until I could no longer identify nails, teeth. They were buried so deeply in my flesh. 3. Now I have resentment at the type of privilege that gave birth to pulp free. This strange pacing thing, making plans inside me. Movie poem. If socialism is equality, then I am that too, as well as a mother birthing myself as my own mother-daughter, but not without also being birthed by context, which is to say all that is around, including sometimes you, even the violence of you, because no one is without flaws of the sort that birth a man acting as a goat, testing his man-goat teeth on the edges of lawns for my pleasure and his safekeeping, which is to say, yes, I saw that movie too, and it hit brain and bone. So now I am both daughter-mother, birthing myself and birthing my goat man, who is maybe a part of me I'd like to keep tethered nearby. So I put him here for safekeeping in this poem that is movie, but also my hands tighten me you. And now I'll end on this poem. Maybe something that's both dark and light at the same time, if I can find it.
Buy you some of those markers.
I know. These things that I was talking about earlier that I knew I was going to struggle with. Okay, Carnage. Holy, holy, holy instrumental score for a film about that ruffian Jesse James. How did such sounds make their way into my head to reflect the shape of both the hole that was left in me and the sky and the sun and the waves that were all I could see when I looked up from looking at the whole-shaped shape of me? I kept wanting to fight it. I kept wanting to fight. It was so far down to the ground, and yet suddenly there the ground was. I gave myself up. For a few minutes, I was a person bathed in sunlight.